Well, hello there. Thanks for taking a moment to click on this video. And if you clicked on this video, you want to learn how to tie the nail knot. Now, this particular knot is not a knot that you'll tie very often, because today, most fly lines come with a welded loop on one side, and most tapered leaders today comes with a tied loop on one end, the thick end, the butt section of the tapered leader. And you just combine the two and away you go. But sometimes the welded loop will fail on the fly line. And that is where it's critical for you to understand how to tie this particular knot called the nail knot. And I'm going to show you just how easy it is to tie fly line to a tapered leader using the nail knot. So let's get into the tutorial. Now, if you were a complete stud like my dad was, he used to be able to tie this knot with a couple of toothpicks or with a couple of sticks. But today, we're lucky to have some tools that are specifically designed for the nail knot. One is just by itself, right? This tool right here is specifically for the nail knot. And there are other tools that have this particular nail knot tool built into it, like you see right here. So let's go through how to tie a nail knot. Don't mess me up. So we're going to use the tool specifically designed for the nail knot for this tutorial. So you've got the end of your floating line that no longer has the loop. You're going to want to pull probably about a 2.5 to 3 inch section beyond the tool or where your thumb goes. And there's a little flat spot there, and you're going to put your thumb firmly on that flat spot. Now you're going to want to grab the tapered leader that you're using and cut off the tied loop. That's going to get in your way if you're going to do this nail knot right to the fly line. So now I'm going to reposition the floating line. Again, about 2.5, 3 inches. I like to have a little bit of a tag hanging off the end of that nail knot tool, and I'll show you why here at the end. And then opposite direction, put the thick butt portion of the tapered leader on that same flat surface and press down firmly with your thumb. Make sure that they stay together and everything's nice and tight. Now there's a little fork piece on this particular tool, which you're gonna start the wrap of your tapered leader. As you can see here, I'm going around and around and making sure the floating line stays in position, but I went around about 5 times, and now I'm holding it with my index finger. Now bring the other end of the tapered leader, the tippet end of that tapered leader, and run it through the little cave that you just created by tying those loops to the tool. Pull everything through carefully. Now sometimes the leader will want to bunch or twist, so you just kind of have to be careful and pull it all the way through until it's tight. Now here is the critical part of this tie. You got to make sure that you're pressing down firmly with your thumb before pulling on the tapered leader to kind of bring that knot over to the fly line. It'll jump over and grab onto that fly line. That's why you want to have at least 2 inches of fly line extending beyond that tool, because that pull is a critical component. So press down very hard with your thumb on that flat spot of the tool and just give it a quick yank. Now you'll notice that the loops are not super tight. So you want to go through and just kind of carefully tighten the loops together so everything seats well on the floating line, and just keep kind of working it until all the loops are together. Pull everything tight. You can pull both the floating line and the tapered leader. You'll see everything cinch up super, super tight. Really yank on this thing to make sure it's seated well. And now cut the tag lines off, and you've got yourself a nail knot. Now this is super critical to know. You can certainly tie 6 or 7 granny knots together on your floating line and tapered leader if you don't know how to tie this knot. But as soon as that gets into your guides, you're gonna lose that fish. This is a knot that you need to know just in case you're out there and you have a gear failure. So there you go. Now you know how to tie a nail knot. All right, everybody. And if you need a little more info on tapered leaders and tippet material, I put together a video right here that really explains everything you need to know specifically for trout with tapered leaders and tippet material. All right, everybody. Till the next time, fish on.